waiting for any CTs pushing that banana area. The bomb is on their back at least. There's a nice little pick from the Deagle. Gonna need a lot more where that came from.
Okay, Serrato will wait it out. Finally hits the scoreboard. The third player to do so now on Furia. Yuri sits to wait as well. Kiyoshima's going to back it away. He's got the AUG still to look down just to make sure. Anchoring on Banana. We're starting to see the rotations, the confidence from Cloud9 in their situation. Get 3 back on A, play the crossfires. Entirely doable, and Kyo's going to call for the rotation now. Here it comes. It'll be Flusha that gets back in position naturally. Deagles can certainly do damage, so don't take them lightly. More to the point, they also get the AUG. Kyo didn't, smartly so, didn't have the confidence and had the wisdom not to go down and try and remove that from position, throw it over the fence, because they were still at the bottom of mid at the time. So it's one gun for them to work with, but it's removed immediately. Kisarato goes down, Flush has got the position, Kiyashima at the crossfire. They'll get one more off of Art, he dies immediately after.
Cloud9 on their feet. It's official, 6 rounds to 0. No one fragging on the Furia side now. It's going to be Abel down to 0 and 6. Same story for Vinny. Kisarato with 1 kill. Top frag is Yuri on 4. As the AWP comes out for the first time, it's in the hands of Art. And interesting enough, we have a Krieg as well for Vinny. We don't see that weapon too often, to be honest, compared to the AK. Or the AUG for that matter. And they're looking at the money for Cloud9 as well. They've barely made a dent on their CD side. They've got a buy in the bag, rush for $10,000 of residual cash after the reinvestment. So they're good for a couple of losses here, to be fair, as Flush Out throws a nice incendiary there, right down to the bottom of middle. Doesn't have to risk committing and showing himself. You can see how much damage that's doing. So the AWPer as well has to extinguish it and waste one of his smokes.
Yeah, how often do you see people go into the underpass position, that little pit, to try and limit the target? Lands there. It's a very good Molotov. Art has crawled through the dark spot. He gets over toward alt mid now instead. They'll take their approach a little bit higher up toward the site. An automatic on the AWPs already got toward the arch side, covered off. Abel J. He's the only one still not to find a frag yet. So the experience of Cloud9 perhaps finally pulling them back into it. Zelsis gets absolutely dunked on. This is aggressive from automatic. Smoke is gone. Flash there. They now know where the op is. But he can still fall back and play very defensively at the arch side. He's going to go further than that. I think he's going to rotate it all the way back over toward B. He thinks that his presence was enough to discourage them from trying to take top middle. 29 seconds. Problem with this is that Automatic didn't get the information. They're all there. It's all on Zelsis and Kyo. No smokes down in front of Kyo just yet, and he gets a lineup. Inside of the smoke, he might get a third. Yuri standing there as well. They hesitated. They slowed down just a little bit, and that left them perfectly lined up. Zelsis finds another. Kyo will step back in case Serrato's lost inside of the smoke. The round lost as well.
This is such a bizarre event, isn't it? We had this similar sort of scenes yesterday with the Ents game. We had a complete blowout in the first map. The second, they didn't turn up at all on. It's really difficult to analyze and dissect this information and work out what's changed. And especially when it's the opponent's map pick as well. You win 16-1, you come into the second map, you assume they're going to look lights out, continue that form where they left off. But now 7-0 down, a taste of their own medicine. And boy, is it bitter. Still can't frag, can't get the bomb down, barely making a dent on any of these rounds, as they'll take another timeout here and get into the next round, number 8, but still quite early days. Remember, on the T side of Inferno, 3 or 4 rounds could be enough. But statistically, some of the worst events performances we've seen from some of these players in a long, long time. And it might not be too late at this point. If they can continue this, they can take it to a third, which is cash, remember, a bit of a NA stomping ground. We'll see his Kiyashima completely through the smoke, almost got 3 as well.
So close to finding a third one. So the second timeout now used by the Brazilians. Nice nade. Art. He cops that one. Goes down to 58 even with armor. Now way down the bottom of middle. We saw this yesterday quite often. You are right, this does have reminiscence or remnants of yesterday's series with Ents, where both maps were taken by the opposing team, the team that didn't pick it, and the third one was bizarre in itself, going from 13-2 to 16-14, I think, as it was.
Yes, the third map that was on train, I believe. But there we go. Just pistols here. Can be deadly on Inferno, but looks like they're going to be shut down quite quickly. It's able to be dropped first. This banana aggression working out very well as Cloud9 have full control. If they're damaged towards Art as well, 3 smokes still available for the T's, but will they get a chance to even use them here? 1 minute on the clock. Waiting for smokes to dissipate, and we'll head back towards B and see if they can even get a trade. But a player on the half wall and one beneath as well. It's almost certain that Cloud9 has mowed them all down as they get ready for it. Zelsis being baited in, and here comes the damage, the pain, as the bullets rain down towards the banana here. One more shot from Kiyoshima will close out the round. He's got the Deagle in hand. He wants to finish this off now. He doesn't want to let him near the site, and he will be dropped, but still no bomb planted.
Deagle's almost like the worst gun. He didn't realize he was low HP. He could have just fired one more AUG shot at him, but nonetheless, yes, 8-0. It's the same game as the last one, just the opposite direction. Cloud9 making up for it. And the interesting stat on the desk, I thought, that really painted the picture for Cloud9 that was pretty bleak. 16-3, they lost to Tyloo. 16-6, they lost to Vici. That game, they lost 16-1. That's not like, okay, no coach, no direct in-game leader. Obviously, Flush is in-game leading for them, but it's not golden. And still, though, they've got so much experience. That's not acceptable at any level.
Yeah, 3 maps, getting 10 rounds. It's a nightmare.
And I think just a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they trade series with FaZe? They were very close. Someone tweeted me saying.
It was 2-1, so they took a map off FaZe.
So it's a far cry from where they want to be. Abel J falls back. We saw the same lineup in Portugal, but with refresh. Instead, Vinny and Abel. Good entrance this time. Finally something for Furia to get rolling with, but Flush is still going to find them above the smoke. Looks toward Oranges too. That's a predictable spot to be boosted into, or jump into, rather. But this is a great spot from Vinny. On the Krieg, by the way, we don't often see it as much. Flush is going to check it, though. He wins it out on the AUG. Chance for the retake, but Abel's the next in line. Those chickens
There's a lot of them.
Pretty much giving him away right now. That's a squabble if I've ever seen one. They've all died. God, that is a barbecue.
It absolutely is. And there's so much money available to them, automatic. And even though he can't win the round at this point, he's going to try and take down as many players as he possibly can as he looks to actually go for a defuse here, just as suggesting he will perhaps. Just throwing that smoke on there, making sure they stay around as long as possible. Yuri will get one more. They get a round, sure, but only one player survives. Now, that's a huge problem with so much reset potential here, and the fact they're all going to get $3,500 on top of the 0 they had there. So there's going to be some compromises going to the next round. We might need a timeout here just to work out how they're going to coordinate themselves and make up for it. You can see Vinny there, 3,800 as he gets into the next round. He's 1-9 right now, as Abel was able to do a great job, actually, as you could see him holding the AK-47 towards the end, and all the chickens squawking around him didn't seem to affect his performance. So there we have it. First round on the board. I really can't explain to you how this keeps happening at this event. The disparity in the score lines across the series doesn't make sense to anyone, but here we are. We'll get into it. Furia.
I want to know a stat. If you could ask me anything I'd change about Counter-Strike right now.
Okay.
Wouldn't be burst relevance to bring back the FAMAS or burst on the Glock. Wouldn't be anything. I want Valve to calculate chicken damage per round.
How does that work?
Just figure out how much damage an average player's done to a chicken and have that as a stat. That's what I want. Make it happen. Valve. Vinny's got Kiyoshima. 2 kills for him, though, before going down. Zelsis is also inside CT spawn. They've read this very well. This wrap, and he's looking for Art. Zelsis will get him. His 9th kill. So he's keeping up with everyone. Rush still sitting on 4-1, but again, it's kind of similar to what we saw from Kesarado last game. He just doesn't have to do much over toward the A site. They haven't really been getting past the mid wall. Haven't seen them inside the site much at all. In fact, the only bomb plant was the last round, and that's the only win. This is a reset. So this is pretty much exactly how Mirage went.
You're absolutely right. It is, isn't it? They get that one round, then they reset with nothing. They'd have to force buy this one because there honestly is nothing left. Even if they took an eco, there'd be nothing in there for them. So they got to buy it out with CZs. 1 Tech-9 there, a few smokes as Rush drops the incendiary, this time in the more traditional manner instead of Flushes. Lovely, innovative one from the top of mid. They'll have to wait for the utility battle as it rages on the flames towards all the main choke points. And how do they crack open Inferno here? Who's going to find them that kill? They are a flashy team. We saw the aim potential on Mirage. This is their map pick, and it's difficult to understand how we've got here. But for now, Cloud9 will focus on the Orgs. You can see they're nowhere near to being broken. So much cash remaining. Even if they lose a couple more, they'll still be okay. Furia have full mid control. You can see Cloud9 playing a very passive crossfire mentality towards that A side. Got the AWP and library. 2 rifles on the side, 2 towards B. Just making sure they use the range to their advantage, knowing the pistols on the other side.
Oh my, let's see how this goes. Deep smoke, but perfect time for the flames to be dropped.
Yeah, see Flusher pushing through the smoke as well and just
that's
taking control back.
Yeah, smoke outlasts the fire, but they take advantage of the fact that they have that 7 seconds. Automatic also rotated out of the library into the arch. Flusher elected to back off because that. They don't need it to both be forward, but they moved perfectly based on that one bit of utility, that one small detail. Bomb down, pistol's gonna find nothing in this, and Cloud9 echoing exactly what happened in the first game to them. And so far, based on that, we've only had 2 T-sided rounds won in this entire series. At 26 CT rounds.
So, do we want to say that this could be an org-related matter? The fact that every team is using it every gun round, and that seems to be the current mentality. Whoever starts CT first are the orgs.
Okay, look, there's some truth to that. There's some truth to the CT sides being much better now with the AUG. Maybe too powerful. Maybe you're right. Maybe this is something to do with it. When you only get 1 round, I think that's
I'm just discussing the speculation that's been put on social media recently. A lot of people have said like this AUG has boosted CT
There's no question it has. There's no question it has. But at the same time, we were sitting in the green room the other day saying we need another CT-sided, heavy CT-sided map for the sake of those brilliant comebacks, for the sake of the pressure that it puts on the game. Nuke's kind of leveled out in a lot of ways. That's quite swift from Automatic. That's not AUG. That's AWP and CZ, and a very good decision to switch over to the pistol just in time. Yeah, look, maybe it is too powerful now, but it's the same for both sides, essentially, when you swap over at half. If you stomp halves, if we start getting regular 14 1s, 13 2s, 12 3s, okay, then it's too powerful, because the second team, when they swap over, it's too much pressure in the early going to get the economy built up.
Yeah.
But if you're getting to 9-6 from what was formerly 8-7, or if you're getting to 10-5 from what was formerly maybe even a T-sided half, it still gives the potential for the comeback.
Well, that was the full eco. 11-1 down now. No one really fragging at all in the Furia department. Top fraggers are Yuri and Art with 5 apiece. Pretty much everyone's died 12 times, and that's how many rounds have taken place.
I think you'd have to take an average sample size of this entire major and compare it to majors of the past before the AUG and see how many CT-sided rounds get won on average in the other. That's really the only way you could determine that.
Definitely an article there, ready to be...
Peter from HLTV. I'll give you the stats this time.
Yeah, you're going to give them to him?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
People don't actually know it. I own and run HLTV.
I knew that.
I write all the articles myself, and I program the website.
You write those forum threads about yourself as well, or?
I don't think I'd bash myself that hard.
11-1.
There's some creative insults in there.
There certainly are. AKs, a Krieg, and a Dream. That's what they're going to have right now. This is not going well for them. As the smoke deployed preemptively for the Molotovs, and nice little angle there as well. We see this boost quite a lot. As he looks towards T, steps on the pallet, going to spot 1. Nice shot from Automati. It's starting to see now why I'm hyped about his AWP presence. He's actually very, very talented with it. Had to take over once Skadoodle departed. It was interesting when in that transition period, looking for a new 5th, even when Skadoodle was still in the team, he went to Rifle, and Automatic was full-time AWP, getting ready for the role when they found that next Rifler. So it's quite interesting how that developed, and it's looking quite good for him. First map, of course, wasn't great, but this is much better on the CT side. It goes back to the 4-on-4, and Vinny, oh, I was about to say, is he going straight through that smoke? It would have been an ambitious play, but decides to fall back. Zelsis aware of his presence, though.
He is absolutely aware. Was aware, I should say, that smoke certainly could leave him the option of walking away from it all. It takes a bigger man to walk away, Henry.
It certainly does.
Automatic's going to rotate around as well toward New Box. Again, the utility looking excellent from Cloud9. Vinny, he's had enough of K-Serrato. Your 3 kills ain't cutting it for me, man. But my 3 kills, they are. As he gets one off the trade at least. Abel J's going to go down. Automatic finding 2. Now we're seeing why he should be the star as he gets the AWP in a perfect position. 4 kills for Timmy. And it's the 12th round for Cloud9.
21 in total for Automatic, and there was 4 in that particular round. They were all very impactful, denying the plant once again, even with 4th state loss bonus now. No plants have taken place. Only on the round they won, they've got the bomb down. That's it. You can see that demonstrated on the right-hand side of the screen. Every other round has led to a 5-man wipeout, as Automatic just completely ruins them on every facet of the map. It's 12-1. And for good reason, you can see why as the charts come in here. Automatic knows they won't have an AWP. Looks towards the T, steps there, a grenade. A tactical nuke, if you will, lands right in the middle of them. And it was a B rush attempt, but held up by the smoke, so they're going to have to wait at this point. They have one smoke themselves and a flashbang. As Zelsis sits at first oranges with the flash out. It's going to help out Kiyoshima. When as soon as he starts firing, that's when the flash will be pulled. Changing the setup a little bit here. Incendiary's thrown and a flashbang as well as Zelsis gets ready for the big spray down. He'll take 2 to the grave with him as Kiyoshima looks to close this one out in style. And my God, have they done that. No plan once again. They lose 1 frag. It's 13-1. What the hell is going on here, Matt?
At least you didn't call me Dan.
I know.
I
was almost
I know you were. I have no idea. Rush is... There's so many similarities. We've got 2 players. Okay, a little bit. 1 over 20 already. 21 for Automatic. 16-15. Flush and Kishima. The same thing for Rush that K-Serrato had last game. 5 kills, 1 death. It's not that he's not getting kills. He's just not seeing anyone, period.
Are they going to 16-1 them back?
That would be phenomenal, wouldn't it?
Has that ever happened before? I guess there's been one-sided comebacks and all that sort of thing before, but 2 back-to-back 16-1s would be ridiculous.
Well, you know what that means.
What does it mean?
Quadruple, quintuplet, 6, whatever overtimes in the 3rd map.
That's probably the case. Cash is coming up next. A little bit faster pace map than Inferno. Automatic is not slowing down, though. The flashbang comes through, but he doesn't re-peek it. He has been tagged out, wants to play a more defensive game now, knowing that this round, it's pretty important. It's number 15 here. Don't get carried away. I respect that decision. And Flusher just going to check out Archer. Confirms it's clear. As his teammates now can focus towards middle and Automatic. I don't think he's missed it all shot this half. Pretty unbelievable. His 23rd frag and maybe gets another here as well. An opportunity, but he'll fall back and just wants to make sure his teammates can close this one out. Shocking scenes.
It's unbelievable. Abel and Art. Art sometimes does enable. Or so I was told at art school. Kiyoshima finds 2. It's 14-1 again, Henry. It is a laughing matter. I don't know what the hell's going on. I hope you're entertained. That's all I can say as we're going to take a short break at halftime.
Different versions of us exist in other worlds.
There's got to be a way to destroy this machine.
I was dancing on my own when you spilled that rum and coke on my t-shirt. Yeah, your eyes made it difficult to get my baby. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high-pitched feel, baby. We shared a cigarette by East Versailles. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And what if you did to make it stop? 'Cause baby, you make
We might have gotten rid of red dots on the radar, but it appears we are still living in an augmented reality because this has been an unbelievable series, and I don't even know how to describe it. It's 30-2 in terms of rounds distributed between the CT side and the T side, and it's certainly a topic for discussion. This time, fortunately, Cloud9 started out on the CT side, so they have the 14-1 lead.
Yeah, I wish I was smart enough to really dissect this one for you, but as you mentioned, I think we need to look at the stats with the org changes now and see whether it really is the case that that's the real difference maker, or this is just an anomaly. I'm not sure. As Cloud9 go for an apartments rush, they've already got out. Abel will have to find quick headshots here, but it's Kia Sherma. With the first blow, he'll be able to take him down in the pit. The bomb's down already, Matt, and they've got a retake here. This will be 15-1, as it's a 5-on-4 here. Cloud9 with the bomb planted. There is a kill available, but this retake is going to be exceptionally difficult. Maybe not for K Starata, though. He'll get the first kill as Automatic looks to fight back here. With 23 frags to his name, he gets one more, and so does Kiyoshima.
15-1. Cloud9 in a position to close it. If you're going to have that 14-1 scoreline, if the Augs are going to be even, not if the pistol rounds occur. It's unbelievable. This series is just one after the other. I mean, who could have predicted that this is how it would go down? Cash is next. I'm just going to say it. We're going there.
Yeah, we are.
That's already concluded at this point in time.
Yeah. If this is back-to-back 16-1s on CT starts, like, it does beg the question, what's going on?
All we really need now is a 15-0 CT side answered by a 15-0 CT side to force overtime.
I'm not sure if that's ever happened on a big staged LAN, even across all versions of CS. I'm not sure that's ever happened. I know 14-1s have been turned around to 16-14s, but I'm not sure if a 15-0 has ever been turned around. I couldn't tell you. Well, we'll see if this will be a 16-1, as it will be rush trading blows. 4-on-4. Vinny, this is going to have to be one hell of a play, I'm afraid, as he drops a decoy there, and his teammates going down. He does a little bit of damage there, but now he's there alone, even more so now, as it's the 4 versus 2, 16-1 on the cards. Both CTs on this side of the map. The smoke's a little bit too deep, allows Art to push forward. If they've gone back towards A, that pretty much locks it down. CTs had a slight chance at maybe 10% of winning that round if they're both there. Now that will drop to almost 0. Maybe we can raise those chances a little bit, though. Vinny will find an AK-47. They have no kits, of course, and they know exactly where these last 2 CTs are, as the bomb is planted in an open position. They have no utility on the T side, but I don't think that will be a massive problem for them. Kiyoshima in the bedroom, ready to take anyone down who jumps across. You can see him perfectly positioned and absolutely rattles the head of Vinny there. It looks like it's done, as Arts will try and scrape this one back. It's going to have to be something absolutely godlike at this point. Has to make a ton of noise as he comes out the apartments here. 3, 2, 1, and we're done. Back-to-back 16-1s. I've never seen anything like it. Matt, we're going to Cash. Have you got any last words?
I have none. Fortunately, I suppose it's not the last word. We're going to have another map. It is going to be Cash. You're absolutely right. You and I always seem to get the weird series. The 7 or 9 hour best of 5s, the 78 rounds of continuous overtime. Double 16-1s. I don't know what is going on.
Unbelievable scenes here. We are going to Cash, but first we'll check with the analyst desk after this break.
The champions of ESL 1 Cologne.
Do you remember?
Welcome to the Cathedral of Counter-Strike.
Think you've seen it all?
He raked it! Are you ready to be a part of Counter-Strike history?
ESL 1 returns to Cologne in 2019.
Think you can't capture a clutch in full resolution while streaming the play to the world? Watch this. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Prepare for combat. Go forth and conquer.
As snowy and cold as it might look outside, and after 34 rounds of Counter-Strike, I present to you the conundrum that is Furia versus Cloud9. That's right, 161, followed by another, followed by who knows what, as we look towards our third map here at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice Major of 2019. Things have really taken a turn in almost a fashion that you can't even predict, even if you got all your pick'ems right.
What can you say about this one?
Well, it was a real up and down affair, but more up for Cloud9 in this favor. I mean, we definitely thought that looking at their first map, this was going to be a blowout in one direction, but oh, how the table turns, Chad.
I really am at a loss to what to say about these two games. History is being made here, but the fact we've had these games go back-to-back like this. Let's just maybe look at some stat lines over the two games. In the 2-16 ones, we've had in the first map, Furia finding 16 opening kills to 1 opening kill of Cloud9's. Yes, Trace?
Well, I mean, you said the magic word. That's what you did.
I said numbers, and they brought the numbers up.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to give you. And Chad, we're going to let you continue as well, but also we need to look at the numbers, how they kind of unfolded. I mean, what was a very one-sided affair is now also a very one-sided affair in the other direction.
Yeah, and it's just hard to break down. It's very difficult to look at. People are going to be attesting a lot of this to the org, and sure, it plays a factor in the CT side being more dominant, but that is not the reason that we have two 16-1 games back-to-back. That's two teams underperforming hugely, especially on their map choices. That really needs to be pointed out, Jacob.
It is history in the making. I don't think I've ever seen this or witnessed it before. Rush dying one time in, what is it, 16 rounds, 17 rounds? That's insane. That gotta be a new record of some kind. Top fragger from Furia having 7 frags throughout all the rounds. That's just not good enough. I don't know what to say either. I think it's one of those games you just got to forget about and hoping that the third map is going to be better.
Well, both teams needing to forget about this. I mean, we usually talk about a team getting wiped off the face of the server and forgetting about the map and then moving forward and looking back at it later as to why it all fell apart at the seams. But in this case, both teams doing it, giving us a fresh-faced best of one here on Cash.
Well, at least everybody's warmed up now. So I think that's one way to look at it, right? They've both had the AIM map, so hopefully we get to a competitive map as we go into Cash. But do we know the matchups, Trace, for tomorrow just yet?
We can begin to take a look at those while we look at what Cash is going to involve. And of course, we do have some of the highlights known as the Cloud9 frag movie of 2019 here. Yeah, I mean, Inferno falling flat here for Fury. Not a whole lot that we can digest from this one, right?
There's nothing really to say. I mean, as much as they were doing good on Mirage, establishing dominance and being a force to be reckoned with, it was the complete other way around this time.
I can give a fun fact before we jump into those matchups. Both teams won the 9th round in both games.
Fun.
Simulation confirmed, or?
I guess.
It must be. Because as the simulation continues, this is what the matchups are going to look like should things go either way. And I'm just going to read here from the technological device that is in my hand. If Furia win, and given that G2 have already won, it's G2 versus Furia and Tyloo versus Winstrike. Now, if Cloud9 somehow pull this one together and we don't see a 15-15 all drawn out overtime affair, that'll give us G2 versus Tyloo and Cloud9 versus Winstrike. And no matter the case, it's going to be Ninjas in Pajamas versus Vici.
So some interesting matchups there for tomorrow, regardless of who wins this one right here. I think the NIP versus Vici game could be a very exciting one, but I guess maybe we should quickly turn our attention back to this absolute mess of a matchup.
Yeah, and let's begin to do that. One of the things that we did tout Furia for was sort of the innovation in the way that they kind of led themselves on in the major, through the minor system into what they have now. This is a team that we saw flashiness of some of the stuff that makes Counter-Strike exciting at the very core.
If anything, it's going to be interesting now because we have seen two very strong CT side, but Cash is a map that is known to be very viable for the T sides. I think a lot of teams know how to play that well. I think a lot of teams have a lot of innovative strats on it. You can play a fast-paced Counter-Strike. You can play slow-paced Counter-Strike. You can basically play Cash the way you want to. So I do not expect neither of these teams to dominate the CT side once again.
And as this is on the screen in front of you, we did see Furia run the same pistol round on Inferno that I highlighted earlier in the show. This is the pistol round that they ran on Cash during the minor against NRG. And this was cool as well because it's very basic. It's the normal smokes that you see here, but then they're going to go one step deeper. They're going to have 2 HEs that you're going to see get thrown towards truck. They're going to get a kill from that. And they're also going to drop another smoke on the bomb site there, which actually corrals the CTs and forces them to go through the gauntlet, which is between Forklift and the red crate, meaning they are open to T-main. They also have to take the jewels between Squeaky. They've actually funneled them in here. So this is a fantastic pistol round once again from Furia. It didn't work against Cloud9 though.
Yeah, and I guess when we start to look at Cash, and from what I'm seeing right in front of me, it's looking like Furia will be starting on that T side.
Okay, so maybe we'll see the same pistol round again, right? Because Inferno, they honestly did the carbon copy of what they did back at the Miners.
Yes.
I'd be curious to see if they go for a similar approach here, because it looked like Cloud9 were prepared, right? They had 3 players over towards that B-bomb site very quickly when that execute came in.
And that's a little bit naive of Furia, I feel, to throw in the same pistol round that did at the Miner as well. You must think to themselves they have something other prepared up in their sleeves, and right now it didn't seem like it on Inferno. That said, though, Cash is a map, especially on the CT side, as I just said before. You are allowed a lot of freedom. You're allowed a lot of duels, and that's going to be very interesting now that we have this whole AUG against AK matchup. How's that going to pan out for the teams?
You know, and with just this little bit of extra time, I'm sure this one has, you know, ruffled some feathers across the board here. And one feather, I guess, that has flocked with the rest of them would be you, Chad. And you've said verbatim, the AUG has not caused this situation.
No, the AUG has not caused the 16-1. It has definitely made the game more CT-sided because people are happier to take more aggressive duels. That is one thing for sure. So basically, Trace, if we use Counter-Strike maths, whoever starts on the CT side will win. So Cloud9 have won. We can close it down. Everyone can go home. That's GG.
Now, that's Chad Burchill. You can follow him on whatever device you'd like, but in this regard, do you agree, Pimp?
Not at all.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because T-side cash is just a new phenomenon. It's a very momentum-based map. As I said before, you can be very aggressive. You can play it very slow-paced. You can come out with 6 strats. You can come out with very default strategies. Cash is a map that pretty much anyone can play. It's sort of like the old Dust 2 in some ways, where everyone can play that cash to a decent level without even preparing for it. That said, obviously both of these teams have prepared for cash, so I expect this to be a much closer and a much more intense affair.
Do we expect a team to get more than one round, perhaps, on one side?
One team will get more than one round. I can guarantee you that.
Now, that is a Chad Burchill guarantee, almost absorbed as a sponge itself, and that's exactly who he is and exactly who we are, because it is time to get into that matchup. Cash is coming your way. Go ahead and tweet at us using hashtag IEM, because this one is going to be one to remember. One of these teams is going home. It's either Cloud9 or it's Furia, and that time has come for them. Let's go ahead and determine the judgment, and to be reading out that judgment will be that of Henry G and Sadakis. Take it away, fellas.
Well, IEM pleased to tell you that of all the maps so far in this major, Cash is the only one that has T-sides in the winning column. They have had 50, I just looked, I think it's 53 to 54% T-side wins, the only one.
And that's been historic throughout its kind of history of Cash. It's the only map really that's ever been considered T-sided to an extent, but even more so now, I guess. We'll see if this one is a bit closer. I don't want to say another 16-1. Not the most exciting games to spectate or even cast as we get into round 1. We'll see a boost from Furia here. They're going to get 3 players ready and waiting. This normally suggests a burst towards Highway. We'll see if that rings true as the CTs investigate towards the A main position. Flashbang goes in, Rush confirms no one's there, and indeed they start making their way towards that Highway position. Will they check the sandbags though? They don't. They're in a lot of trouble. They seem to be aware of it. Automatic taken down, and the A split continues.
Does indeed. Arts. Not sure which way to go at this point. Kiyashima and Zelsis have found kills. It's a 3-on-3. A T-side pistol is also something we've been lacking. Well, I should say in the opening halves. The second half, they've both won them to close it out, obviously, after going 14-1, but it's not the momentum that we've seen start out. If that's going to happen, Quesarado is going to have to go furious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he's going to have to walk out and find 3 kills with the P250 in hand.
Not an ideal situation for him. He has got the bomb, and he's deciding to fall back here, and, well, automatic. Oh, Kiyashima, I should say, being polite, closing that door. Just toying with him slightly there as Quesarado tries to do anything he can, and they're not letting him get a kill. That would teach you. Kiyashima taken down in the end, and he's having a bit of fun.
Who said chivalry's dead? Hold the door!
Indeed. Well, there it is. It's quite the round from Cloud9 as we built it up. Furia attempting the 8 split through Highway there. A nice opening frag towards Automatic, but at that point, it all fell apart. They did not get a plant, and the CT rampage continues here. As it will be 1-0 Cloud9. We'll surely see an eco here from Furia. No bomb planted. If you get the bomb down and 4 kills, you might be tempted to force buy in the second round, but today's game normally just means Glocks, not much else. A flash, perhaps. That's exactly what Vinny's got, and the objective is to get that bomb down. If they can, they'll have a really strong buy and a potential of the orb next round. But getting the bomb down in this sort of situation is a very, very difficult task. We'll see what they can do here as they wait for the smoke in middle to go down. They'll probe towards that area, but looks things with the flash and see if they can at least get a rifle to work with here.
But they'd love to have that AUG Rush has.
I bet they would. Only 2 rifles on the CT side. That's Kio's FAMAS. Rush's AUG, and With the UMPs up, not the worst situation. The MP9 can be viable in the gun rounds as well. He's got to be a little bit more creative. So go for a run boost with the Glock here.
To the barrel.
Doesn't work. Can do that again. I don't know what they're hoping is going to happen when the run boost comes through.
Glock. You're not going to hit a crazy headshot.
Maybe practicing for the future. Like, we do need to practice run boost, boys. Let's get it going. There we are.
That didn't really do anything. You didn't land on the barrels. All you've said now is, hey, we know how to do this run boost. Watch out for it later in the game when we actually have the op. Don't play an angle that's going to let us get a kill. Just give that one away, why don't you? It's 2-0 for Cloud9 on the CT side, but we are just getting started. It was a pistol momentum that led to that. There was no guns up. Let's not get worried yet.
AKs now. Remember, this is the only map in the pool out of 7 maps that's considered in any way T-sided, even in today's game with the org changes. Cash is the second least picked map and has been chosen 3 out of the 43 matches. So there you go. That's quite interesting. So
yeah,
haven't seen much of this or Dust 2, and those are the more open fragging considered maps.
Exactly what I was going to say. I think we've seen Dust twice, not 3 times now, just twice.
I think, yeah, it's up there, around that sort of number. Very, very low, and it goes to show that higher-end teams and their favorites, they don't want to be challenging these plucky, mechanically gifted players on those sort of maps, but this is the third and final one of the evening, and it's an opening kill for Furia. Abel taking down Automatic there. And we'll see if they can continue this as the org actually shut down by the creep this time. This is looking very good for the T side as they're now in a 5 versus 2. Surely Kiyoshima can't save this one. He's going to throw an incendiary to deny the plant, allow himself to get a little bit closer to the bomb site. If he goes further than the truck itself, and he'll actually go down 4 versus 1. That guarantees it now as Zelsis only has the MP9 in hand. He can get the FAMAS, but he might be saving that for the next round at this point.
Finally, we'll get an early T-sided round as a result. Zelsis is going to hold on to the FAMAS. Not a ton of money to buy up for Cloud9 either, so finally the trend looks to be broken, and it is the T side. Dust 2 has been picked twice. Cash has been picked 3 times, so that's confirmed. The next closest is actually Train with 5 picks. And what did you say? It was 63 maps?
43.
43 maps. So those 3 accumulate for 10 totals. So
Dust 2
I
is
just read that. I just read that.
Okay, there we
Henry.
go. Perfect.
And you've given away now that I read it instead of bringing it off the top of my mind, which means you've taken away from how smart I seem, which is entirely
you are
the goal.
Incredibly smart.
Don't lie to me.
You're like at least like the 3rd smartest dude I know. And I know a lot of guys.
You do know a lot of dudes.
So we'll see what can be done. Zelsis will save the AK-47, so that's beneficial. Automatic AWP. We saw what kind of damage he can cause. We witnessed it all on Inferno. That was lovely from Vinny. Krieg hasn't had as much impact as the org, of course, but doing great stuff that round. We're going into an A execution off the bat, by the looks of things. Maybe just a straight-up rush as they make their way towards the A storage area. CT's not challenging just yet. Good smoke. Should slow them down. We'll see if they want to push through it.
Flusha just waiting it out. Trying to get the information. If Rush can peek on it, maybe they get something from that. Rush trying to get a lot closer. Abel, he's already taken down Automatic. Rush knows they're there. Molotov's being thrown over. He knows they're to the left, but he's not sure how far in. I think he wants to swing. I think he wants to go wide on this. He's still looking inside of the site, but he doesn't know they've gone to quad. Now he does. Now he's pretty much got to swing. Now he's got to fight forward, but Yuri got the confirmation that he was there. He just sidesteps into a position, easily able to dispose of him. And this should be a save call already from Cloud9. 2 down on the site, smokes up, good post-plant positions. Back away, and I think our observer got a Steam message there.
I think he might have done.
DJ, who you talking to? Anyone you want to tell me about?
3 players remain for Cloud9 here as Furia with the very basic approach toward the A side of the map there. Nice and fast, hitting the shots that really count. Nothing too technical or flashy there, just getting through that smoke and negating the threats on the other side. It was Rush. You could see how much pressure he was under there. Flashes, smokes, flames everywhere all over the bomb site. Nice open plan there, as now it will be 2-2. No 16-1s here today, I'm afraid. And we'll have 3 players surviving the CT side.
That was actually, by the way, that was Discord, not Steam. I should know better.
I did know that. I just didn't want to ruin your joke.
What a great way to bait 100,000 people.
It's not bad.
I wonder how many people went, alt tab. Who messed? I have friends. Where? but still no one loves me. Back to the
No one there.
No one there at all. There never was, Henry. Not for me.
More puns there in the bottom left of the screen. I respect the effort, but I'm not going to read it out. I really do like it, though. Either way, it is going to be Molotovs and a fast mid approach here. You can see the smoke towards Connector, and Art's got through. Not sure of his safety, though. Just trying to make sure he can survive here. He's got the AUG on the T side. No, you don't see that every day. We'll see if he can make it work, as now, round 5. There are compromises to be made for Cloud9. You can see the MP9 for Rush, the UMP for Zelsis. Players that went down previously. Vinny's still on the Krieg. As they hold up in a firm default here, that Molotov for the bomb site itself. Lands on the feet of Kiyoshima. It doesn't take a ticket damage, though. Manages to get out before it spreads.
Just to note, Zelsis is 4-0 right now, so even though they've lost 2 rounds, he's been able to save both times. That is significant. And much as we saw earlier from him in this tournament, he was saving, but he's also willing to give away his gun every time that he did. He had an AK carried over. That's now at the hands of Flusha. So he's being selfless, knowing he is a temporary, and that AK carried over and given to Flusha. It's done a remarkable job. Kiyoshima down in the small pit. There is a one-way smoke you can play on that. You drop it in and play the ledge, you see directly inside checker room. It's not quite a one-way, but it's a hard texture to spot. Kiyoshima elects to just try and cover himself in the corner. It's not going to work, but look at the flank. Flusha did such a terrific job. K-Serato might take it all apart. It's down to automatic on an 8WP. Op in hands to try and go back toward the site. The AK's inside of the smoke as well. He pretty much has to commit to this angle and try and hope that K-Serato goes hunting, and he is aggressive. It's going to work.
Big round there. Furia take the lead. It's K-Serato to deliver in a tight situation as well. Perfectly played. He knew he had time to plant as well. The automatic position towards the heaven spot with the AWP. He's not going to rush you down once you go for that plant. He jumps on the bomb site, gets a nice advantageous angle, and manages to break the back of Cloud9 there. They'll take the lead and presumably put them on an eco here as well, because force buying here, not really an option, because you get a nice full buy next round. The money's not desperate at this point. They're all hovering around 2.5K, so they can buy up next round. They're going to buy a little bit with some HEs here and presumably throw those towards the boost. We'll see if that rings true as one of the players goes down. That's going to be automatic. Full mid control granted, even more so now for Furia, and Art is making his way towards CT spawn through the connector.
Absolutely he is. Kiyoshima's the one that he finds. The reset this time. Ooh. Bitter. Flusha will at least get one more. Good to see him getting some kills. That's encouraging in a game like this. Finally, we're going to have a bit of a contest, it seems.
Remember, this is a 1-2 game. We've already just said goodbye to Fnatic.
Yeah, well, how about that?
Indeed, and Cloud9, obviously another household name. Now 3-2 down in the third and final map, but very early days as Flusha somehow gets another kill through the smoke. He got 2 of the AK previously with a full-on spray. This plant can be a little bit dicey. With 3 kills so far, but that plant should make things comfortable now.
Saw a tweet from JW as well, wishing luck to both Flusha and Olaf going forward to represent some Fnatic blood in this event. So obviously he'll be cheering for Flusha and Cloud9 trying to take down Furia in this round.
Well, Flusha unable to perform in the first map, and they suffered that 16-1 result. They managed to recover in the second. You missed that. Very odd scenes. Flusha will be dropped though. Zelsis, AK in hand, presumably will carry that forward, but that's if he gets the chance to. He's going to have a duel here. Not the best spray control, and he will be dropped. It's going to be a clean sweep there for Furia. Brazilian team, of course, up 4-2 now as the money starts to stabilize. Automatic can buy the AWP, but he won't have much else to go with it, as they might take a pause here. I'd say that could be an option for them. Remember, Cloud9 have no coach behind them, as you pointed out a couple of times, and not their standard in-game leader as well. We do have to be aware of that fact. It is going to be a massive contributing factor. Absolutely so. The coach is actually a very valuable role at CS now. I think one that's underrated, perhaps.
Yeah, even for the mental aspect of it, more so than the tactical, if you want to get into the two. They're both valuable. We lack sound, but I'll provide it for you. We're heading toward B. Smoke's down, and the flames in front of Art finally are audible. And work around from the checker room. Kiyoshima's inside of the site with Zelsis. He's going to extinguish the flames in front of him, play the headshot angle. Actually stays on top of the generator so he can swiftly go back to his right, avoid any damage, still go back to holding off the angle. Art's alone. Can't be boosted back up when he's alone, so he's just actually trying to hold the angle and cause some, I guess, annoyance toward B at this point in time. He needs to do it now, though. They're already ready to take A. Bomb still at mid, but there's 4 on B, and pretty soon that doubt is going to linger in the minds of Cloud9 based on timing. They're going to go back. Yeah, definitely going to go back now. Zelsa's pushing through. Art gets exactly the kill he needs to. This is all down to Rush.
So they've peeled away a lot of presence towards that A-bomb side. Just Rush, you are right. And Art is happy to continue his push towards B. He's confirmed there's still players there on that side of the map, and Furia need to act now. Nice preemptive incendiary there from Rush to buy himself some time, at least 7 seconds. And the CTs are aware now it's going to be an A-side attack. So it has bought enough. As the flashbangs come through, Rush is going to need them. He's going to be blind himself, and now needs to challenge and get a couple of kills here. They're lined up for him. There's the first, but can't get a second. 3 versus 2. Bomb not going to be planted just yet.
And it's not going to be planted now either, because Automatic take it out of the hands. As Vinny, Flusha. He's done this.
God.
He's done this. Oh, he turned around. He wanted to get the bomb, and he's gone down. All he had to do was get bomb. He could have easily taken that kill. Sometimes you're too smart for your own damn good. And Flusha, he gives Furia number 5, 5-2.
Oh, God. It was looking so wonderful for him. A classic Flusha play there. Lets them survive. He wanted to guarantee a victory, not just a frag. And unfortunately for him, Vinny, with the 180, detects him, takes him down. And it will be 5-2 on the T side. Finally, the terrorist force is putting up a fight here.
I do want to make an observation. Zelsa's pushed through, and I don't know that this even falls on Zelsa's for communication. I think they should have read that fake much sooner. The fact that he got that far out to B main, saw absolutely no one. Okay, sure, he dies to one guy at checkers, but all you saw was one guy. I would have called it then. Get back over to A.
Well, the thing is, the incendiary from Rush, they actually had enough time to rotate over. It wasn't so much they weren't aware of it. They were just a little bit too late to get in strong positions that they couldn't do enough to help him. The flashbangs were very good. The Molotovs were flying in, and Rush was only good for one frag. They did line up for him, but they were incredibly difficult kills. And as we go 5-2, Cloud9 win the pistol, go 2-0, but it's been 5 rounds in a row for Furia, meaning maximum loss bonus now for Cloud9. But that's only $3,400 per player, which means there's not really a buy available for them, and we might have a small technical issue.
Yeah, this is technical. The HUD is indicative of that. Zelsa's showing at $800. That means he's actually disconnected temporarily, so we'll wait for him to get back in. That's why you're not seeing any communication on either side right now. Coach would still be muted. I'd say coaches, but there's no plural in this game. Not in this matchup, at least. So it's Vinny that leads the way. At 8-4, he is going to run in the Krieg. So too is Queserado. So there is an argument to be made. I think someone on Reddit and I were just discussing it. I don't think there's enough benefit yet to the Krieg to justify bringing it out over the AK, if only for the one-tap potential. And typically when you're spraying with the AK, you're close enough anyway. There is the DPI, and you could argue the scope to some extent as an advantage. I'm not saying the gun's not better. I'm just saying I don't know that I would be encouraged enough to go out of my way to learn that over the AK, as opposed to the M4, which lacks the headshot potential. Pick up the AUG.
Yeah.
So, sure, if teams want to invest into that, that could be something that potentially stabilizes the AUG. We're just a long way off.
Do you ever see a world where terrorists start picking up the AUG over the AK?
The Krieg, you mean?
No, I do mean the AUG. If you see an AUG on the floor,
oh, okay, sure.
Like, start picking it up and going like,
well,
let's get the AUG on the T side.
I think it's already happened a few times.
Yeah.
Yuri's got one now, carried over. I seem to recall that happening in London last week a few times. I think absolutely that's going to start happening.
Yeah, an interesting one, because the Krieg, sure, it seems like a similar weapon, but the spray pattern is just very difficult to control. It's not like it's
only
harder,
taken 20 years for the T's to have a gun worth picking up from the CTs.
That's true. Well, there we have it. Flusha is the most decorated player on the server. So many major titles under his belt, and to be fair, he's put in a compromised position, having to be the in-game leader, a role he's not necessarily used to, and a team he hasn't been in very long, and without the full roster or a coach to support them, I understand the woes he must be going through, the pressure that's mounting at this point. They're 5-2 down. They've lost 5 rounds in a row. It's the third and final map. If they lose this series, they're out of the tournament, Matt, and that is... it will be gutting just to think that Cloud9, such a staple of the CSGO community in terms of the organization, won't be represented at the round of 16. That's a big if, of course. They can still bring this one back, but right now this is guaranteed to be an eco, and they'll be down 6-2. But remember, this is the only T-sided map we have, and that even rings true to this day as we look back on it over the last few weeks, but we've only seen it, 3 times at this event. So it's difficult to really work out how that pans out. And I think you're right. We can't really start dissecting all these stats until the big teams start arriving next week, the more tactical, execution-based teams who maybe know how to handle the AUG a little bit better. Against them, that is.
Yeah, and it's not even that against them, but it's also just that next week we're going to get our very drilled teams, starting with Astralis, Na'Vi, although we did see some very questionable performances from them in London just a week ago at the GG.bet showcase. And there's a bunch of issues with some of these teams and their discipline in terms of the execution and in-game leading. So is it tactics? Is that still going to be it? Are the correct smokes and correct flashes still what will take down the AUG?
Time will tell. Certainly a massive talking point. Flasher just straight up cheating at this point. Not even sure what that means.
Let's not get down that rabbit hole again, shall we? I lost enough brain cells the last time that topic was brought up by trolls on the internet.
Well, hopefully we'll have Zelsis back on the server. His money is back to the correct amount, so I'd assume we'll be underway momentarily. But yes, 5 rounds in a row on the T side. It has happened. If you are just joining us, 16-1 in the first round, Mirage in favor of Furia. They were playing absolutely insane Counter-Strike. We thought it was done. We thought Cloud9 were out of it. All of a sudden, a resurrection of sorts. 16-1 in return as they started on the CT side of Inferno. But here we are, Furia proving the T side still can be powerful in the third and final map here. They're 5-2 up as we resume action. HEs to be purchased, and as we mentioned before, they're usually used towards that boost position, and that's actually been quite prevalent for the T side. They've been getting a lot of mid control quite quickly. If they can get 3 nades there at the very start, maybe 4, by the looks of things, maybe that will be enough, but they're not sending most of the manpower towards that position. So what have they got in mind here? As we go into round number 8, they are going to boost players up, but no damage taken, and it's Art to Molotov towards the sandbags here, and the round continues. A huge advantage for Furia. Rush purchases some armor, but P250s are now a flash towards A main. Will the 1Ds come through? Certainly will. It's Kiyashima to find 2 frags and the bomb.
Art's going to try to babysit that bomb, to give K-Serrano a chance to walk out from the doorway position. He does exactly that. Smoke off. Keo crossed over. Art wasn't ready for it. He will spray in Able J. He takes down Rush. It falls to Zelsis to try and keep this bomb on the deck, and Art's not going to allow that, so it's all on to Flusha once again. P250 in hand, knows ones toward quad, dodges the flash quite accurately and effectively.
This is clever. They're going towards B with the bomb, though, so even if he gets this, which he won't, they were about to plant towards B. So nice idea, good positioning from Flusha. Didn't have the armor, though. As soon as a bullet touches him, if you're not having Kevlar equipped, we have this feature in the game called Aim Punch. It's why you buy the Kevlar. Your crosshair will go up by 2 inches if you get shot at all, if you're completely bare. So timeout for Furia. They've done this again, Matt. So 6 rounds in a row. You don't commonly see many teams in the lead taking timeouts, but I think it's actually a very good idea to stay focused on the objective of making sure no one's getting too carried away and you're having a firm understanding of what's going to happen next. Remember, this is a team that are trying some new variations of different approaches. They're meditating before the game starts, for example. We've never seen anyone attempt that before. And I've read about that in the past, like being able to sit there, relax, and focus on winning the game can actually psych you up and allow you to be in your best possible state before a game. Never seen a Counter-Strike team do it, but certainly won't hurt, I don't think. So we'll see if any other teams adopt that sort of approach, and Cloud9 will change theirs as they bring out the double orb setup for the first time, normally designed to get you out of a hole. Automatic and Zelsis, not seeing that young man with the orb yet, and we'll see if he can cause some damage here in round number 9.
Revolution number 9. Automatic. I thought he had that all day. Art apparently could see him. Saw an artifact. As Able J will swing back out from Toxic. Art's going to continue to hold off on middle as well. He's dropped off boost, didn't commit to it, so they put the op up there rather than a rifle. He didn't want to obviously drop down into cubby with the op. So he goes back around toward the big garage. They'll take mid with a more normalized approach, if you will. Vinny tasked with doing so. Watch for him to just wait late for rotations. Krieg in hand. The others toward A main. Rush already pushed up into the corner as well. K-Serrano behind the blue door. Rush wants the information on this, and then it'll be an immediate peek afterwards by Flusha. But the execution coming down, smoke's going to dissipate. That actually favors Rush, but he wants flashed in. He's got flash in. Brilliantly so, but only gets 2. Yuri pulls him back. Still, all the information that Cloud9 needs, and they get 2 inside of A main. Vinny has to go aggressive rather than waiting for those to walk in front of him, and that might give young Zelsis a chance to show off his AWP in this major. He'll take down Vinny.
He took some damage for it, though. They still have a lot of work to do here, as it looks like the peak is coming in. The commitment from Flusher works out. 3 versus 1. K-Serato once again stuck at that door position, and with the time running low, they don't have to peek him. Zelsis, stop facing him! Make him plant, surely. He has 10 seconds remaining. They're giving an opportunity to win. If they give this round up, there's going to be an absolute disaster here. And K-Serato running out of time. He might actually win this. Cloud9 get through by the skin of their teeth. A hollow victory at best. What are they playing at?
Why? No need to peek him at all. But if you're going to, why do you have the op step out first? Let the rifle take the bait. Op hits the shot. You're absolutely right. There's no need to peek that at all, especially the red crate.
That's insane. Did they recover the AWP? At least I think they did. But still, that's going to cost them. They get reset now. They're going to have nothing left. This peek at all, I do not understand. He's got the bomb. No one even has to challenge. Make him pick him up, but he won't even have time to plan. And he might get 1 kill at most. You've given him 2 there and left yourself with 1 player surviving. You've got 2 MP9s going into this next round, which has so much reset potential. My God, that could have been disaster. Imagine if he wins that round. That could have been it. Either way, let's see if they can recover. Orgs, MP9s, and an automatic AWP. I'm interested to see where he's positioned right now. He currently holds towards white boxes in the middle. All for Art as well. And you can see Flusher being baited in. He has one of the aforementioned MP9s here, but smoke's coming in. Molotov will have to be deployed towards a boost to buy them a little bit more time and space here.
Otto gonna go back out. Flusher still up close with the MP9. Let's see if he can get through the smoke. That's the question. If he gets in there and gets the flank, could be a significant play for him to always thinking about it. Problem is they're still in mid. Not like they were committed to B or otherwise. Does significant damage. You have to give him credit on that. And Zelsis, he's going to take his MP9 and go straight up the other way. 1 up the gut, 1 up the wing. A kill and 2 players sub 30, well, give or take. Sub 30 HP. Abel's got 32. Zelsis still inside of checkers, has to try and hold position. He can't really fall back as of yet. There's no smoke down on the second entrance. Instead, it's just the Molotov. And he will be found actually through the wall by Yuri. That's a decent shot on the op. Speaking of, we saw how impressive he was CT side on Inferno. Automatic with the AWP, but it's Kiyashima that gets it instead. Watch Rush pincering him in. Kyo didn't need to peek that. He just needed to stay on the site.
We have this flank though. Remember, Rush, he can save the day. 8 seconds remaining now. He can deny the plant, and it looks like he's done enough. Cloud9 managed to bring it back. That was required as well. If they get reset there, it all goes horribly wrong for them. There is no money. On 3 players on the Furia side. They have 6K on Vinny and 4,500 on K-Serato. Here's Yuri, though, getting it done with the wallbang. You don't see that every day. To get that sort of pick and not win the round, it's disappointing, but there we have it. MP9s once again. I don't think we'll be buying into this one. Furia will just take a partial buy here, drop some pistols. Maybe Vinny will get some PD-50s out for the boys. So he'll get some Kevlar as well. 1 smoke, a flash. The smoke's already been deployed. Zelsis has got his work cut out for him. He's going to meet a couple of CZ players towards a B storage and actually give away an MP9. Not a huge deal, but certainly not ideal.
Absolutely not. Abel. See if he is with the Deagle. Boosted up already, staring down towards Z connector. Kiyashima trying to find one out toward Toxic. He's certainly done a little bit of damage. Nade bounced awkwardly off the top of the door frame, but back the other way. Automatic's got an op versus that Deagle, and he'll win it out. Rush, meanwhile, back over toward A. Flashed off, couldn't help Flusher, and apparently there was no help for him at all. He went straight down, bomb planted as a result. Nade should absolutely take out Vinny. I say that. He smartly ducks around behind the box.
Yeah, just moonwalks away.
Yeah, and stays alive.
Oh, this is such a difficult round now for Cloud9. The AWP and the retake as well. They still have the advantage in my book with the rifles. Good incendiary will push them out of position, but there it is. It's actually perfect, but still a 2-on-2.
Certainly is. K-Serato down by Rush. Automatic's going to aid in the retake. So Cloud9 pull back. They get their 5th round. 3 now in a row. It came off the back of 6 from Furia, but it starts to show us that Cloud9 are capable of getting the gun rounds on the CT side.
Yes.
Which was a bit of a question to start things off with the execution. See now if they... Oh, well, they're a little light, aren't they? Zelsa's still only with 3,800. Kiyoshima has, okay, got an AUG thrown over to him, and he's picked up armor to go along with it. I was going to say, see if they go AUG heavy again. They already are.
I'm sure that's the way they want to be. Either way, Cloud9 with the incendiary from Rush there. That was everything. You can see his teammate ready at the barrels for them to swing wide after the incendiary is deployed. It saves the round. That was actually looking touch and go for them. 6-5 though. Very close game. More like it. What you expect of this sort of matchup, as we'll see now. Mid control coming in and some main control from the CTs. So it is a game of chess on Cash. Sometimes you lose a part of the map like middle, you do need to go and reclaim some territory. So getting a main control is absolutely perfect, what we call reactive CS. And Flusher might go all the way. Automatic at least finds an opening kill. And as Flusher got towards the mouth of T-Steps right now, we'll find out as he still holds towards that position. And will be K Serato and Co actually heading towards Squeaky Door. He's with Yuri. And they've got 2 smokes remaining in this 5-on-4. Vinny, though, if he finds Flusher, they'll be right back in the round, but he is going to be entering this situation just by his lonesome.
Flusher up close, very close, backing off, gets the angle, gets a kill. Thought he might find a second one on that, just anticipating where he spotted the bomb that there would be a second player. So Rush up above. Flash out, door open. Flash forced him to look away, but he's shot. Has to drop down on this. Using the flames to mask his noise. He gets inside to find one, but Kiyoshima next in line. He's got to rotate back inside, and Kiyoshima has the AUG to work with up close. Doesn't need the scope. He's got the bomb down once again in the opening of the site. K Serato versus 3. Again. Pulled this off last time, exactly that again, but Zelsis is on the flank.
Well, here we go. Cloud9 actually stabilizing this point. Like you pointed out, 6 rounds in a row against it, but now 4 in their favor. Loss bonus racking up, though, for Furia. They will have enough to purchase if they really want to in this round. You can see there'll be a few compromises, but there's enough to get at least a few rifles out there, maybe some SMGs or Deagles. We'll see. And they might want to take a time out here and just think about their options. Automatic keeps delivering. And like we said, really nice play. They lost middle, so they claim A main there and make sure the Ts don't have easy access towards a bomb site. So yes, 3 rifles, 2 pistols, and bare bones utility here. 4 smokes, a couple of Molotovs as they send most of their manpower once again towards an A bomb site. Remember, we saw this in the first map, really didn't really touch the B site of Mirage at all. Focusing really on A every single round when they were running away with it.
Step for Abel again with the Deagle. He was put there last time that he had this weapon as well. Double door this time. 2 players to work out from A in that position, make it a 3rd. And they have the bomb there, so the entire intent is almost like your pistol strat that I actually told James Bardock you guys were going to do in that show match.
Oh,
but
yeah.
in typical James fashion, he didn't care and didn't listen, so it worked. I hate to admit your strat actually worked, Henry.
I'm still running it to this day.
Yeah, 4 outdoor on pistol.
Oh,
if you're ever playing Henry G on ESCA
Honestly,
or anything else,
people have said that.
4 outdoor.
Yeah, they said they're ready for it, but still, it always works. Anyway, here's the retake, and the Krieg's still out there, strong for Vinny as he found one towards Connector. It's going to be a very quick retake here from Cloud9, and back and forth they go. 3 versus 3. Yuri, strong spot as a bomb ticks away, well past the halfway point. A wide swing from Art. Damage being done. The fake defuse trying to bait them out here, and it's K Serato once again in this door. Can he find both the kills? You better believe he can, as he finds the AWP. I don't think he saves into the next round, Matt. No. Down he goes, and it will be another round for Furia, but it cost them all 5 players there, right down to the wire. He manages to win out the 2 versus 1. He's had so many clutches from that door position. Well, clutch opportunities, I should say.
He has. He comes out late on it, which is interesting because usually that player opens the door and covers off the highway as the take's happening, but he never really leaves that position. He gets his teammates in there, and then he holds from it. It's the 2nd time he's clutched from that position in particular. 3rd time he's had the chance to do so. He sits at 11 and 8, and the stat that was on screen earlier, he led all fraggers at the Americas Minor in KDA all the way through the entire event. So definitely one to watch. Again, these guys came from the open qualifier and are trying to knock out Cloud9 this map.
Make it a convincing case to do just that. I think we have the force buy here from Cloud9 as well, right at the end of the first half. Round 14, Deagles, 5-7, CZs, and 1 AUG. That's in the hands of Automatic. Lose this round, they're gifting over 2 essentially, and it could be 9-6. There's a chance they can win this, but I feel like they can't just run a default. They'll have to go for a push somewhere, but right now it looks very standard. We've got 2 players towards B and A, 1 in middle, as the smokes and indeed players make their way through. It will be Art holding that position, and this is such a massive advantage here for Furia. Rush and Automatic do get to main control. I needed to see something that's going to suggest they're going to find an opening frag. So a nice little boost in towards A main, 2 targets there, and baiting in Rush as well. This is looking really nice. So they've got control of that side of the map, but can they hold on to it?
Just to make note, that open qualifier, for those of you who aren't familiar, get 4 friends, team of 5, you could sign up.
Anyone can make it to the major. That's why it's called the open qualifier.
Exactly what these guys have done. I mean, to put that in perspective.
Do you want to make a team next year or next major?
Prefer to have
give it a go.
Better than you on it, but if I need a 5th, I'll give you a call.
Thank you very much. Just make sure I'm on the short list at least.
You can be the coach.
I'll take it. To be involved in this project in any way would be an honor.
Bring me some water whenever I ask. That's all I need. Art's going to take down Zelf, Sis, and Kishim is trying to get back out. He's in the corner, 17 HP. All he wants at this point, the reason he hugs the corner with the Deagle, all he wants is them to fully commit. The deeper they are in the site, the better chance his teammates have of finding the kills. He wanted Rush to get to heaven a little bit sooner, but the pistols from that range just can't do anything with it. So Furia is going to put the bomb down. Abel's low, Cerato's low, Art and Vinny both within range of a Deagle, certainly within range of the AUG. But without much money left over for Cloud9, they may have to call the save, and I think that kill on Rush will confirm it.
At least the AUG. That has to be saved. They're going to have nothing going into the next round. They're going to have $1,900.
Oh, come back. Come back, Automatic. Hang on.
Wait.
No, too late at this point. They've already committed to it, sadly, but they definitely wanted to hunt down that gun, didn't they? Oh, flush shot. He smoked Abel. That's more money gone from Furia.
He's going to die to the bomb, but fair play. 3 kills. Unfortunately, go to the last round. Actually, it does have some impact, you know, because they only have 3,900 on a couple of players, so they might be missing a few grenades or the AWP going to this round. I'm not sure anyone can actually purchase the AWP, so that actually has a knock-on effect. It's grimmer scene for Cloud9, though, I have to say. They only have $2,000 per player. Like I said, $1,900 coming into this one. So, yes, they certainly remove some resources from the T side, but they don't really have that much themselves. 1 AUG and 4 pistols again. Not sure why they would focus on the Kevlar, to be honest, in terms of helmets, because you know you're up against rifles here. Might as well get a bit of extra utility and save the 350 in that department. Once again, Russian Automatic sneaking through the smoke. An old classic play here. Used to be called the Pronax boost. And it will be Yuri to go down first, and Automatic to follow things up. They have the bomb in A main. This is actually pretty remarkable. Incendiary to follow it up, and Cerato from that door once again needs some magic here. He will get 1 in return. And it's now... he has control of A. He knows they're locked in towards that entrance, and he'll wait for that smoke to go down.
Chance to make it a 9-6 half. That gives them a breath on CT. Again, this is the only map so far this major that is T-sided in terms of the percentages. And it's showing again now. Cerato's in a fantastic spot, burrowed in behind quad. They've got to the corner, though, and I'm not sure he spotted that, so he's got to be somewhat careful because he won't have an angle. Vinny, he spots Zelsis wrapping all the way around. And here we go. Cerato, only for 1. Dropped by Automatic. He's going to go immediately back, but bomb's still down inside of A main. He's actually got a chance at just holding this on his own. Kiyoshima's going to rotate back over. He suddenly turns the round. Abel J with it all to do. AK-47 in hands. He's got to go directly to the site. He'll fall off. Oh, I thought actually Automatic was fully off the angle and was going to give up the bomb and just play the 2 versus 1, but holds it and holds it well. 7-8. Cloud9 very close at this point.
I really enjoyed that performance in the final round from Automatic. He goes with the boost. He baits in his teammate. He gets 4 kills in total. We split it down the middle. The final game of the evening to work out who will be knocked out next. 8-7 at halftime. We'll be back after this break.
Well, we get back into it. It was 16-1. 16-1. Basically what that means is these guys actually just wanted to play a best of one. They had like an agreement. They just said, all right, throw out the first two maps. And not only are they going to play basically a best of one, we've got a dead even half.
They're going to go for 15-15, just to make sure it's extra spicy.
I did say we were going to get overtimes this one.
Flashback towards the middle. It's Kirishima to lead the charge, though. As that goes over, there's no CT presence whatsoever. A B split looking like they just bust through the vents right now. Keo, like I said, going in first, but that smoke means their only point of access is going to be checkers now, and Yuri's aware of that. He's going to bait in Art to perfection here. So they want to make sure that Yuri challenges first, but they are aware of Art's position. So Yuri goes down, the B bomb side is open, and that's going to mean a plant is on the table for Zelsis. 4 versus 3, the retake begins, and Keserato has got a defuse kit, and Able J's got a frag.
It does indeed. Kiyoshima's going to stand in the back of the site. Zelsis just to his left. Back out toward Useless? That's a far distance for Flusha to be playing. He's got to get back now. He is going to go for the flank. That puts a lot of pressure on Zelsis. This young man has to stay alive and survive for Flusha to get back through the vents. Okay, he's gone vents. I thought if he was going to go the whole way around, that's still quite a distance. Zelsis and Flusha with the crossfire. He was certainly ready. He cleared out mid at the very least by going to the vents. Therefore, they could firmly focus directly onto Tree, and they do exactly that. Cloud9 gets both pistols now, by the way.
That's true. They absolutely do. And it will be now 8-8. We tie things up. I don't think the CTZ will force buying here. If they were, it's going to be a very scary prospect for them. Nice shot from Able, but unfortunately wasn't quite enough there. Flusha goes to the flank, didn't really have any sort of impact there. He could have held checkers the entire time, but gets there in time and backs his teammate, and they managed to defuse the bomb. So there you have it. Well, they managed to avoid the bombing. Defuse, I should say. Cloud9 with 3 rifles here, a couple of MAC-10s as well. Perfect setup for this sort of round against the Eco players, and you can throw those MAC-10s in first to detect any stacks, and there actually is one towards that B side of the map. 4 players reside there. A is completely open right now. Kirishima just prodding towards the B side of the map so you can get any sort of intel here, while his teammates actually holding towards the A side of the map. They actually got a couple of players towards middle, so not as B focused as I once thought. The X-ray a little bit misleading, as now Cloud9 will make their way towards A. That looks things else is to open things up. Seems to be warming up into the major now. Remember, whoever loses this series will be going home. It's the 3rd and final map. Who would have thought Cloud9 would be in that conversation? One of the favorites going into this stage of the tournament. A lot of people had them as their 3-0 in the pick'ems. But this one looks locked in, and they will take the lead at this point.
And the other interesting, oh, great shot. The other interesting aspect of that is a lot of people had Furia as an 0-3, being the most unknown team in this round. The other two that were common in those positions, Fnatic, a lot of people had 3-0. They played Vici Gaming in the first game of the tournament. They were a lot of people's 0-3. They won that. Vici upset Fnatic, and as we now know, just hours ago, Fnatic are out of this major. Unbelievable that they've gone out already. #1 seed in the round of 24. Chad put out an excellent tweet putting that into perspective. They lost to Vici. The only team they beat was Graham. They lost to Vici.
Yeah.
And obviously just got knocked out a moment ago against G2, who was struggling quite severely.
Yeah, real struggles there. I'm not really sure what the future holds for them. But there it is. So far, so good for Cloud9 in the second half, but they are up against the bye. The Orgs will be brought out in the 3rd round. Where to say that now, you'll barely see an M4, but a couple being purchased now at least. 2 Orgs, 2 M4s, and MP9 for Keserato, opt for a bit more utility just to make sure they have control of the key choke points here. But Cloud9, with the advantage and the fact they have 2 MAC-10s, is suggested to do something quite quickly off the bat. Maybe the B split will be coming in very quickly here. 3 players towards B storage. Rush just showing presence there with the MAC-10. He's with Flusha as well. They're actually sending both MAC-10s in towards the A side. Really isn't working out for them as they lose the bomb towards B. That actually suggests this fake is going to do nothing for them. But Flusha at least gets out alive at the skin of his teeth, 24 HP. And it's up to the CTs now to try and hold on to this lead. They've got for themselves here. 4 versus 3. Molotovs towards heaven, and the bomb on this player here, Kirishima, makes his way towards the site.
And he does so with success, not being spotted, not being, importantly, taken down and leaving that bomb in the middle of the site. Keserato, late to throw it to deny the plant. We'll put the Molotov on the site now. That at least confirms that there's going to be one stuck in the corner, but Zelsis snuck under the ball. By the smoke, under heaven, finds 2 to counter off the entry on the retake, and that might be enough for the round because Flusha and he were so low that without those kills, Retake was a massive possibility.
Well, that's Cloud9 trying to fake out that it's going to be an A attack. It didn't necessarily work out too well for them. Sending those MAC-10s in there, they lose a couple of kills, one towards B and at A. The bomb was dropped as well. So Furia had all the information they required, but then Zelsis managing to get 3 in total. Like I said, seems to be warming up. Haven't been that impressed with him so far in his tenure within Cloud9, but this will be a massive performance for him if he continue this fragging potential. Currently sits on 12 frags. Not a massive amount considering we've had 18 rounds, but still, those were very impactful frags there. A key round for Cloud9 to pick up. The first gun round of the half, and it's now 3-0 and 10-8 overall.
That's incredible. Just barely got there, too. He was almost right in the middle of the door when they were walking through. A split second sooner. Great game for Zelsis as well. A lot of people, again, asking about his, I guess, position on this roster. Presumably temporary,
yes,
given the golden situation.
He would have to play it out of his mind, I think, to keep his spot within Cloud9. But you have to be fair as well. He hasn't been there a massive amount of time, never played a major before, and trying to find his footing. You know?
Well, and he got an ace to start it off. That's a fantastic debut, but then there was a lot of questions on otherwise. This game is certainly there. 12 frags. Sure, it's the bottom still, but it's tied with Rush, and it's only one behind Flusha. They're all between 12 and 16. His job is being done. He's having an impact, no question about it.
I agree.
Everyone on the server, by the way, is between 10 and 16 frags.
Well, you would hope so. This final map, we wanted to give someone something to watch, you know, instead of a 16-1 blowout. This one's going to go right down to the wire. As Furia, though, will just be on the save them for an MP9 and some pistols here. It's possible to win these rounds, but maybe not if Rush is just taking you down through the smoke. Double team combo there as they go into the 5-on-4. We'll see Zelsis will have a chance of a couple of frags here. Nails both of them, really warming up now. As that should be things guaranteed and locked down. It is going to be 5 players against 1. Able J towards the car position. And presumably not long for this world as he holds up, misses out on the 1D, and automatic will punish him for that. 5 players survive. So much cash for the T side now, Matt. This is going to be difficult to break down their economy and actually sink your teeth in. As you get to the next gun round here, this is maximum loss bonus at 4-0, and the AWP will come out for Art at least. Do they have a double AWP set up? It would be a difficult way to enter the round because they would have one player at least with glass cannons, so they're not going to go for it. 4 rifles, and here's the replay of Zelsis. His aim actually starting to look pretty decent now.
Yeah, looking very solid, very solid. But the decision-making as well for me. Again, the last round just being very sneaky inside of the site. So another 2 kills for him, 2 kills for Rush. 11 rounds for Cloud9. Rush will get up above, but Art's got the AWP this time. On the Furia side. And if this is to be their last map, you got to commend the effort that they're putting into this game, certainly, and the whole way through. Starting in the open, again, we mentioned it, through the minor. Impressive in the minor. And here now, there's no question, Neymar is probably watching at this point in time, too, cheering them on because he seems to have quite an interest and investment, perhaps, in the team. As Kiyashima takes back Queserado. It's back to a 3-on-3. This round does hinge quite a bit on Furia's chances, just based on the money alone. You give Cloud9 this 12th round, and a chance against an Eco in the next round, you're looking potentially at 13-8. That starts to be a bit of a deficit that's very hard to come back from. Considering the flank, Kiyoshima's still looking back, so they've lost information in regards to where the CTs are. But they've got enough map control still to bust out from door. And without the knowledge from Furia over toward B, without investigating aggressively, they better hope they're in the right positions. Thankfully, Yuri is. He's gone back around to the site with the AUG. He won't spot anyone A main. He won't be directly in position to cover Art, who's at quad with an off. That's going to be a tough position. Couldn't hit the first shot. It becomes tougher as he tries to re-peek it. Yuri gets back out, but couldn't catch them in transition. Bomb goes down. If he was actually toward highway staring at the door, very different scenario.
Well, here we go. The retake begins. Yuri's so low and surely has no chance there. Only his head showing, but Flusha removes it. Really, really well done from Cloud9 to finish things off in that round. They continue their absolutely perfect performance in this second half with 5-0 and 12-8 overall, just a few rounds away now.
So it is the full bonus, as we know. But they're on 3,400 on the CT side. The timeout has been called because this is, again, I talked about this. If you go to 13-8 against Cloud9, you're giving Cloud9 a great chance to wrap up the game. Just 3 rounds for them. They'll take that one step at a time, no problem. But can you force buy here and really justify it? Because that completely cracks it wide open if it goes wrong.
You are absolutely right there. So that's why they take the timeout here. I would assume a force buy will not be happening. I thought like the partial was more viable from this point. Deagles, CZ, something like that, and give it a go. There's always a chance you can win those rounds. If they do, it'll be fantastic. And you can see what the coach provides for Furia, is trying to keep everyone's heads up. High fives and rubbing the shoulders, and Cloud9 lack that, of course. So we've talked about that a few times, but we'll see whether they can close this one out. Round 21 up against an MP9 and some pistols here. Massive advantage for Cloud9, but you never know with these Deagles. And horrible, unspeakable things can happen.
Yeah, not having the full buy, being just under that, this is the better call, because otherwise you risk 14 rounds being on the board for Cloud9 if you don't win it. So get the full buy back out. You can still play against it. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult. Wayne Gregsky on Twitter, great name, by the way.
Yeah.
Did mention something kind of interesting, is that Zelsis would have played against these guys in Furia more than anyone else in his time in Swole Patrol, given that they were kind of in similar, leagues and levels.
Makes sense.
Maybe that's something about it. Maybe he knows. Maybe that's why he's stepping up in this game.
He seems to be a lot more comfortable on this map, that's for sure. Like we said, Cash, a bit of a North American special as well, so I'm sure he's had plenty of experience on it. Kishima seems to as well, as he manages to open things up towards that B side of the map, taking damage through the smoke, but responds with some bullets of his own. None of them landing. Minute on the clock, no rush yet. There's a little bit of damage towards Spawn as Zelsis continues to find headshot after headshot in the second half. This has been so good from Cloud9. They haven't given up anything in the second half so far. And that's Zelsis just alone towards A. It's not a huge deal. He's confirmed there's a couple of players on that side of the map, and presumably they fall back towards B. And looking for their 13th round shouldn't be a problem. No CT players towards the B side whatsoever. Kirishima will clean out the back of checkers. Sometimes can be a horrible position. As Rush will now jump on the side. Unless he gets one dig here, should be fine. He does take a shot, but unfortunately for the CT there, it wasn't in the head. So Kirishima gets the wall bang in return. Lovely stuff. Always very satisfying to pick that frag up. And it's now the AK of K Serato, which I assume he saves, as that's very valuable, and they're not going to be able to win this round.
Vinny wants desperately to work back in through the vents. MP9 to work with. He might be able to catch them off here, just flanking out, because they won't expect him to come from the B side. So if he gets that off, it would have been a huge contribution to the CT side. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. They do get one AK-47 at the very least.
At least they get that. The AK taken forward, but not many lives left here. Furia just a few rounds away from an early exit from the tournament. Cloud9 look very comfortable right now as they get their 6th round in a row. 13-8 overall. The double up setup, will that be brought out? Indeed it is. Art and Yuri to drop him. Like we said earlier on, when Cloud9 were on the back foot, double orbs usually brought out on the CT side when everything else goes wrong. Wait until you can bring this out and set up 2 turrets. Very viable on a map like Cash, but Cloud9 are messing around, as we'll see Flusher just push through the smoke towards middle. He spotted K-Serata in that connector. He's given that information to his teammates. Can he capitalize upon it and actually make his way towards highway? He's not even bothered about the player in towards that connector, because as far as the CTs are aware, no one's towards highway right now.
Pretty impressive. You can hear the footsteps and everything. Gets to it. He can watch it now because he's so close, and gets one. Goes around. Ooh, good response from Vinny. Both those kills going to Flusher. Called around, done. Not yet. Yuri's got automatic. That's at B. Bomb's still on A. They aren't sure which this is going to be, which way this is going to be. They're going to have to really rely on K-Serato getting this right on rotation, or either of the players in the site itself. That's right. Find Kishima getting kills. They've done exactly that. Great hold from Vinny, and it's 13-9.
Double orb setup seems to be the solution here, Matt. That's their first round posted in the second half. And we're 7 deep. So there we go. Finally waking up, and it's not too late. 13-9. One more round will get them double digits, but they've got a long way to go before they can even think about breaking the economy of Cloud9. At least 2 rounds will have to be going in their favor. But that's much better. 3 survive on the CT side. That's a convincing victory here. They're not done here just yet, it seems. There's K-Serato managing to take down Kyo. And that amazing push from Flusher. It seemed like it was everything. It was uncharacteristic of him, I have to say. Normally we see Flusher in those sort of spots. He'll take his time. He'll go behind those players and toy with them a little bit. Maybe after that experience towards A main, didn't want to risk it again. And almost with the second frag, picks up a first there. Shuts down the boost towards the white van. You don't see that shot land too often. And he's got a second as well. That is beautiful sniping from Art there. Remember, Furia going through the open qualifier to get here. None of these players have ever played at a major before. And right now they have Cloud9 On the ropes in round number 23 on the third map. I don't have the lead just yet, but this is a very impressive round so far from Art.
Quick check inside mid from Rush. Mid worked, I say worked, nearly worked for them last round with Flusha getting so far up. Fantastic round by Vinny last time by Rush. Always been caught off by Art. These guys are coming alive. This is a whole different team. Double up setup is making a world of difference for them. Flush is left in a 1-on-5. Still money enough to buy. He's got 11K, so they're going to buy again. Furia, though, is building up a bank. This has all the ingredients to go right down to the 30th round.
I want overtime now. Just for the storyline. 16-1, 61 overtime.
How sick would that be?
Yeah. Let's hope it gets there. We'll see. Furia, like you said, waking up. That double orb setup seems to be paying dividends at this point. Timeout for Cloud9. They're second. They've looked incredibly comfortable so far, but now they got to dig deep. Remember, they are the more favored side here. Cash, the only map in the pool considered a terrorist affair, and proving to be the case so far as they went up 6-0 in this second half. But this double orb setup, especially with Art's amazing shots to take down the boosted player on the van. That shot, to be aware of it, it's so sick, and the second was even better. A jumping player who thought he was safe, and Art just absolutely dismantles the offense there. And we get into round 24. This game is the one everyone wanted. This is what it's all about. Right down to the wire, teams waking up and looking like they're dangerous.
And this is just to survive at this point. As it's a 1-2 game. One team goes home, and the other team's got to do this again tomorrow in a best of 3. We're going to find out our draw soon, but Art's in the corner. Smoke down. AWP up this close. You would have thought, without that smoke, he wanted the vision to go deep, but they put that there. So he's got to cross back over. How do they play this insecurity? How does he possibly make this work?
It's not a position you want to be in with the AWP. Surely he goes down here. If he gets one kill, that'll be impressive. Not going to happen. Automatic and Rush. Pincer, the A bomb site here. It's up to Abel to try and pull this one back. Good job so far, at least to find a frag, but it's a 4 versus 2. Their money is stable. They might go for this one, but it's looking incredibly unlikely to have any say in this round whatsoever. Rush going for the default planting to make sure they're covered. Nothing is given away. And at this point, with the smoke down especially, they've got another smoke available. There should be absolutely zero chance that Furia can win this round. Unless someone jumps up and gives Yuri that headshot.
I question what they were trying to achieve with the AWP. I mean, I know the spotting toward A main is fantastic.
Yeah.
But he was so limited once that smoke was there. And he thought about leaving and went back.
Yeah. So I think he's just kind of riding the coattails of the previous round. He did something so unbelievable. He's thinking like he's a god. And you're going for those flashy plays. You want to continue that pressure.
And he did miss very narrowly.
Yeah.
So if he hits that, he looks like incredibly good, but even still the trade potential would have been too high. So.
I like that from Orpers though. I like it when they get that killer instinct. They want to go for big plays, and sure, it was overcommitted, but you don't want to see him sitting right back there. You want to see him taking the game to Cloud9, but they will win the round overall. 14-10, just 2 away now. There is a buy, especially with Abel saving the AUG as well. They can purchase AWPs. They can even get in that double AWP setup if they want to. Time will tell if that's where they want to be. Surely the timeout, yes indeed, is called the final one. As we get to the real crunch time at this point. What a story would it be to make it to the next stage of the major, knocking out Cloud9 from the tournament. Every single one of these players, minus Zelsis, with major championships under their belt. The young gun there, looking to prove himself. He's had a great half in the second. It's Kiyashima removing that AWP. And here we go. Did they go for the double orb setup? They did. Art and Yuri once more. Art has been nimble, moving himself around. Cloud9 opting for a full rifle setup here as their money starts to look a little bit more modest now, man. They're making sure that they don't overspend and go for those orbs every single time. And this looks like a solid A hit. Flusher trading blows with the CTs there. And look at this boost. That's a really cool way to get up there. Vinny's in a great position.
It's a fantastic position if they can get there in time. They nearly did. An automatic coming in late. Or early, I should say, excuse me. Gets taken down, and the smoke's going to push them off, hold them at bay. They should know he's up there, surely. He still finds the angle on Rush. He's going to drop off. Door's not open. Look at Vinny go. Kiyashima and Zelsis, though, do find one each. It's down to just Zelsis. Time to shine. Put Cloud9 on map point. Take the money away from Furia. He could be the man that keeps them alive in this tournament right here and now.
This would be astonishing if he pulls this one off. He's got all the time in the world. He's got a bit of utility. Bomb on his back as well. Couldn't ask for much more in a 2 versus 1. Right now, the CTs not playing together. They're actually separated. One in the B site, one towards middle. Abel holding the connector as Zelsis opens the door, unaware of us who will be on this side of the map, and now giving his position up. Smoke down to block vision from highway. Is he waiting for the reaction now? Or does he go for a straight-up plant?
I think that, yeah, you got to go soon. He's given his position away, like you say, and they're already setting up for the flank. They've locked him in. They'll likely concede the bomb plant at this point because it doesn't really matter. He's checking everything. You give him credit for anticipation, but sometimes you can overcomplicate things, and he's got to get this bomb positioned soon. 18 seconds. Bold to go for a plant that open. But again, they'll concede it. So he might have been aware of the fact that they would allow the plant and play the 2-on-1. 1 nade, 1 flash. Kits for both players on Furia. Still at quad as well. He can hear them one to the left. But he's trying to time this perfect. Gets it out. Spots 1 already. Down from Abel. Turns it back. He's got Yuri. And he might just do this for Cloud9 to put them on map point as he has to try and hold it off. A jump across. But Zelsis slides out. And he knew exactly how to play it. Down goes Furia. 15 Cloud9.
A quiet tournament for him so far, but that was absolutely everything. He takes himself to 18 kills, puts Cloud9 on map points. Furia need a perfect game at this point. They just don't have the resources to justify that. We'll see what they can do around 2K per player for masses, UMPs, pistols, but it's a 2 versus 1 play to perfection there. The flashbang was everything. It gave him time to reposition and actually challenge in that 1 versus 1. And it looks like Cloud9 have done enough here as they go up against absolutely nothing. SMGs, 1 rifle, a couple of pistols, and surely this is where it all ends.
We'll see. Time to dig deep. Time to go hard at this point in time for Furia. They've got everything to lose. We'll see if they can pull it in and create a win. I say everything to lose in terms of the equipment. They've got nothing to lose in terms of what they've proven so far as a team, so you might as well end it the way this began and go aggressive. Vinny, door opening behind him. He was hoping that wouldn't happen. He was hoping desperately that they would walk in from A main first. So Zealous starts it off the way he finished the last round by getting the opening kill.
It's getting more difficult by the second for them. Kiyoshima holding towards B storage. Abel on the other side of that smoke. You can see it's a slight fake though. Kiyoshima shouldn't be committing off that one to see if there's any sort of reaction towards the B side of the map as he rotates towards his teammates here. They got the advantage, and the money's low. Don't need to do anything too technical here. This operates a 5-man unit to close this one out. 45 seconds remain. They still have 3 smokes, flashbangs, Molotovs as well. Looks like an A execution to close things out. Nothing too crazy required. Smoke that highway, that's done. Molotov towards quad, flash out, allows Zelsis to see what he can do with the AK, and it's up to Art to defend. There's the Molotov, and there should be the commitment right now.
He was excellent with the off. Gets 1 on the swing. Deagle's going to take the bomb down for a moment, but only a moment. Low HP on Zelsis. And Automatic holds the wall. He knows they've got to rotate from outside of the site. They've got to cross that position. And Yuri's gone. They'll close it on kills. Kiyoshima's going to take down Abel J. Cloud9 survive. But credit to Furia.
Yeah.
Hell of a 3rd map. The 16-1s are an anomaly in themselves, but that is an effort from a team that came out of nowhere. A team that came through the open qualifier and have now put themselves on the map. Watch for these guys in the future.
I absolutely agree. They've shown a great amount of skill and passion, and hopefully we see a lot more from them in the future. They've never attended a major before, and the Cloud9 boys certainly have. They had them on the ropes. They 16-1 them to open things up. It was a very, very difficult game, but Cloud9 with a tenacity and mental fortitude to get through it, and it was a convincing victory in the second half on Cash. But what a game. It actually was a roller coaster of a ride, and Cash certainly delivered. That had everything for it.
Unbelievable. And consider that Cloud9 has the 2nd highest amount of major winners on their roster. Sure, 2 of them on Cloud9 when they did it. Kiyoshima obviously did it through LDLC and Envy, and then you've got Flusha, who's won 3. They have a wealth of experience, and that's how hard they had to push to beat Furia. Young team, one of the youngest on average, if not the youngest on average in this event. They've got their careers laid out in front of them. This is excellent to see. I love that we're getting more and more Brazilian teams. With that, Henry, Cloud9 survive to tomorrow, but man, oh man, they've got to get it together and get ready. It's over to the desk.
Yeah, that's right, Matt, and ready we are. You might be using hashtag IEM, but certainly you're going to have to put a hashtag C9 win in there for what it's worth at this